Hello and welcome to my Ever Messy Art Studio. My name is Keeks, and today I thought that we could have a spot of fun. Um, First, I'm going to do a flip through of my now completed Chicken Accordion book, and then I figured after we do a flip through of that, it gives us free reign to do whatever we want. So why not draw some villains as ice cream? And I thought that would be really fun. I've been wanting to do that for a while now, so I thought there was no time like the present. But first, let's go ahead and get started with the chicken book because the chicken book's really fun. Um, so this is part of the Makers of Mixed Media group on Facebook. They're doing an accordion book swap. This is an accordion book, but I ended up doing putting little ties on it because I was having troubles keeping the book shut. So now it shuts and closes like a normal book. Hey Starla, how you doing? Good to see you. So I wanted to show this off first, so I did go ahead and punch little holes into the accordion book and then tie them. That way they wouldn't come loose. Hey Mo, how you doing? I have been assigned my partner, who is actually the person doing the swap, which is Becky, which is really exciting. She said she wanted to get to know me, and what a better way to get to know each other than to do a swap together. Um, so this will be her book once I get it sent off in the mail. But this is the cover. So the cover is some buttons and then a cute little picture of a rooster and a chicken that's from a little book, like a little golden book, I think. And then on the inside, we have our watercolor chickens. And I added a chicken fact to this. So did you know that chickens have superior color vision? They can actually see colors better than humans do. And I thought that would be kind of the perfect quote for the watercolor page. So I thought that was pretty cool. And then this is the one that we did together last night. So what came first, the chicken or the egg? And then on this side over here, we have our hen pecking complaints. So they want pizza flavor green requested. The rooster's playing guitar too loud. Chick daycare assistant needed. And no more early nights. Disco ball wanted. So our chickens want to party. And then I put like a cute little chicken in here, just so it could be kind of peeking out. I thought that was pretty cute. Um, on the next page, this is kind of like, I tried to do like a little spiral cut so it can actually go up and down. So it's kind of fun. Wouldn't do it too much because it might break because it is just paper, but I did make it out of cardstock. And it says chickens can lay between 200 and 300 eggs per year. That's a lot of eggs. And then over here, I wanted another interactive thing to do. So I made a little barn door. And then when you open the door, it says the farmer was sure one of the coops would glow on the Saturdays. And it's just a bunch of chickens with a disco ball, so I guess they got their wish. I had a lot of fun doing that. I made that one on my lunch. I was like, haha. On the next page, I've made this interactive too. So this is meant to be like an egg with a little chick in it. And if you pull it out, there's a little chicken fact. And it says, did you know chickens talk to their unborn chicks? So basically, whenever they're sitting on the eggs, they'll actually like cluck at them, which is really cute. And then over here, we've got a little chicken, and then there's a pocket with some chicken facts in it. So I've got 3 chicken facts here. We've got this guy, and it says on the back, chickens are the closest living relative to the T-Rex. So I thought that was cute. This one says chickens were domesticated over 8,000 years ago. I don't really know that that means back in like the Stone Age or anything, but I thought it would be funny to dress this chicken up like Fred Flintstone. So I decided to do that. Hey Zal, how you doing? And then this is the last chicken fact. And in it, it says 206 million chickens are eaten in the world daily. That's a lot of chickens. And then these just slide right back into the pocket. Just like this. Thank you. Yeah, I decided to use some tips and tricks from my weird journal swap, and I was like, I need to do more interactive things with my pages. So this was all just kind of an experiment, which is fun. How you doing, Zal? Good to see you. And then on the back here, I have a B for Becky because Becky's who I'm swapping with. And then in really tiny letters, it says Becky and Keeks swap June 2026. So as soon as I get her address, I will be shipping off this cute little chicken book to her, and hopefully she loves it. Um, those poor birdies had to see a roast chicken. I know, and he's a naked chicken too. Poor thing. But I just thought it'd be fun to include a bunch of chicken facts and stuff. So, and then in other big news, Becky, the same person who I actually have as my partner in this, um, is actually hosting an art retreat, and I'm gonna go. Like, I talked to my husband about it, and it's in October, and I went ahead and I'm the last person who signed up on it. So in October, I'll be part of the retreat, which is really fun. It's going to be 3 days. So it's going to be a Friday, a Saturday, and a Sunday. So, in October, and it's going to be a bunch of jelly plating, a bunch of art. Like, it's going to be a lot of fun, and I'm really looking forward to meeting other artists and stuff like that because I've never done anything like that before. So I decided to be brave and do it, which is really exciting because I didn't think I was going to be able to do it. And then my husband was like, "Why wouldn't you do that?" So I was like, true. I'll do it. So I think this is going to be a lot of fun. So thank you, Becky, and I hope you enjoy your chicken book. So with that said, what I thought we could do today was have a bit of fun drawing. So a while back, I got this puzzle, and I didn't get it to do the puzzle. I actually got it because I liked what was on the puzzle. Let me see if I can tilt it a little bit because I see that that light is glaring right on it. That's a little bit better. But it has a bunch of Disney villains as ice cream on it. And I thought it would be really fun to maybe try drawing some of them. Like, I don't know why, but Ursula is really standing out to me. So I might draw her. And then if we have time after we get her all drawn and colored in and stuff, we'll pick another villain to do as well. But I think this is a really fun idea. And since it's summer, it's hot outside, why not have a little bit of fun with it? And I've really been wanting to draw for a bit. I think doing so many journals in such a short span of time has just made me kind of eager to draw. So let's go ahead and get out a drawing book. So I have a journal right here, and we'll just flip to a page. I think this page will be pretty nice. Let me see where I am on camera here. I think I can go up just a little bit. Yeah, I think that's a little bit better so that you can actually see the whole page. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw Ursula in pencil first, and then we'll go over it with black. And then after we get the line work in there, we'll be free to color it, and we'll just kind of go with the flow and see what ends up happening. So when I draw faces, usually I try to draw like a big circle. Like, I start with a simple shape first because you can always, erase it. So I'm just gonna draw a circle, and it's okay if it's a little wonky. I'm personally a wonky person, so I don't mind anything like that. And then I'm gonna kind of put a line here just so I kind of know where the middle of her face is. And then on these ice cream cones, she has really big eyes. So we're gonna do some really big eyes here. And it may be a little hard to see until we line work it in, so I'm gonna try to do this part quick. That way it doesn't, you're not staring at what looks like a blank paper for too long. So I'm gonna do another eye over here. Just kind of make it round. And then she's got some eyebrows. So I'm just going to go ahead and get her in there. And then she has really pointy lips. So we're going to give her some pointy lips. And she has some teeth showing. So we're going to go like that. On the ice cream cone, she has a really tiny nose. But I'm going to make it rounder than what it is there, because there it's just like a triangle. I don't really want a triangle nose for her. So we're going to give her just like a little beady nose. And then she's got these really hooded eyes. And kind of like princessy lashes. And then she's got these big eyes that are just staring right into you. And she's got a big old mole. Let's see here. So I'm gonna I kind of want the mole on this side. I think it's gonna look a little bit better. So it may not be completely Disney accurate, but forgive me. And then we'll just kind of put some little shines on her eyes. And then she has like a full chin, because Ursula's kind of a heavy set woman. So we want her to have a chin situation. Nothing wrong with that. She is a strong, confident woman. And it looks like there's like a seashell earring showing. So I'm going to go ahead and give her more of an ear than what the puzzle piece has going on. So I'm only really using the puzzle piece as a reference for like what ice cream's supposed to look like. Because we're going to add ice cream drips and stuff once we get her face down right. So I want her to be recognizable. I don't like that ear shape. Nope. Because we'll make her look like she's melting here in a minute. So now we've got that ear in place, and I'm putting that one a little bit smaller, like her head is turned. And then she's got this kind of whooshy bit of hair here. And kind of some other bits that are sticking up. kind of like that. And then we need to kind of 3D it a bit, because she is supposed to be an ice cream. So I'm going to kind of add a bit of a 3D element to it. And she needs like a stick. And then we need to make her melt a little bit. So that way she looks kind of like drippy droppy ice cream. So we're just going to add some little hints of like things melting. Maybe we can give her some crazy melty eyes. So, I mean, she is not supposed to be a good person. So if she looks a little bit creepy, that's probably okay, right? Maybe we'll add a little bit of a drip there and a drip there. And a little bit of it dripping on this like stick a little bit. So I think that should be a pretty good image to start with. So let's go ahead and get the line art bits out of the way. Because once we get the line art done, then we can erase everything that we've done. So let's start. I think I'm going to start with her chin. We got her little ear. Maybe we can add just a little bit of a drippy look there. Do like a little crease there into our ice cream. Give it a bit of a sweaty look. And something like that. Just kind of make her wet looking, if that makes sense. I'm just kind of putting in lines that seem like they'd be natural for that effect. It's not really trying to think too hard about it, just getting it in there, you know what I mean? That. And then get this earring in there. And then maybe another thing we can add is we can do that little seashell necklace that she gives Ariel. Because I see that as like a background piece on it, and I kind of like that idea. So we can fool around with that. And then maybe it's just going around the cone like that. Hey Falcon, how you doing? And then we can do her eyebrows. I think I'm gonna go with 2 instead of 3 eyelashes. I think that's gonna look a little bit better. Let's do that on this side too and see what it looks like. Like that. And then we're just gonna kind of give a line that kind of hints that there's some lids here. We're gonna make them a little bit liner because she's like an old lady. Like Ursula was no spring chicken, so she needs to have some lines in there. I think that looks good, and it kind of builds on her image a little bit with these hooded eyes. Give her melty look. Age her a little bit. That way she doesn't look too young. I think it's really easy to fall in the trap of trying to make things look too pretty. But I want to stay true to her character because she's not meant to be pretty. She's just meant to be confident. give her some little teeth lines here. Make her look like she's got some big teethies. So that way her smile's a little bit more wicked. And I think that looks like an evil ice cream. So I think that looks good. So I'm just going to go back and erase my pencil lines. That way there's nothing there to like distract us or anything like that. 'Cause it's really easy to accidentally color where you don't mean to if there's random lines everywhere. And I don't like that. So I'm going to get rid of it. Wickedly good ice cream, right? I bet she's tasty. She's purple. So what's she got to be, like grape or something? Ooh. Or what if there's a plum ice cream out there somewhere that nobody's tried yet? We are going to have fun with Miss Ursula. And we're going to do lots of layering. I'm going to use my Neo colors. And we'll put down some base colors and then start building on those and slowly make her into the wonderful evil enchantress she is. So we are going to have a lot of fun with Miss Ursula. Let's see, I've still got some weird lines in here, so I'm going to get rid of those. Because we don't need them. There we go. All right, so that is a very good start. Now, with Ursula, she has purple skin, but we want a really light purple. So what I'm thinking is we don't start with a purple at all, but something that's in between it, like this pink color. That way, if we start out light, we can slowly layer in the purples. And I was thinking about maybe adding some green for some contrast later. So let's go ahead and try this color and see how it turns out. So I'm just going to slather it on here, and then I'll go over it with some water to blend it. And then we'll slowly start building her skin from there. And I think her lips are red, so I'm going to leave those alone for right now. And I am using a Royal Talons sketchbook. Royal Talons is not really made for watercolor, but as long as you're not putting too much water on the paper, it will not damage it. Sometimes it can bleed through if you're a little too heavy with the water. But it's not a bad sketchbook to do watercoloring in. I haven't really found many problems with it anyway. So we're going to start with that light layer there, and then I'm going to take a watercolor brush and just gently start working the color in. This is a light enough color that it's going to probably look white on the camera, but I promise you it's not. It is a very, very light purple. And I am not very good at staying inside the lines. So if you are also not very good at staying at the lines, it's okay. I've come to realize some people actually like that. So don't feel bad whenever you go to color if you're not a line person. It'll all work out. Just as long as you're creating and are having fun with it, it shouldn't really matter. She looks kind of scary already. I wouldn't want to cross paths with this ice cream. Okay. So that looks pretty good and blended. So now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to use a blow dryer on this. So I see a few spots that look possibly oversaturated just a little bit. But like I said, it shouldn't really matter. There we go. So that's nice and dry. And now we can take a different shade of purple. Like I want to warm up her skin a little bit, so I'm going to use this kind of like purpley violet color. And I'm going to go around the edges. And this one I'm going to blend just like before. I like to get a little messy with my Neo colors. So something like that, and then I'm going to wet my brush again. And I'm just going to gently stroke over it and see what happens. Definitely adding more purple into it. I'm doing this outer part a little bit darker because it's supposed to be at a different angle. And I'm not good at light sources, so we're gonna fake it until we make it. This looks so cool seeing the layers of evil happen. Right? Maybe at first when they picked up the ice cream, she was beautiful, and then the truth and the depths of her heart showed as she started to melt. Or, whatever Disney says. Go down a little bit with this. Go. I don't know why I feel like I should be doing this on Halloween, but I've wanted to do this for a little while, and I keep staring at this Ursula like I want you. I do. I'll give her a bit of color there above the eyes. She needs to have hooded eyes. Go. And then I'm going to do an even darker purple. And this one I'm not going to blend. This one is just going to be messy and streaky. Because I like the texture of Neo colors. Can really give you that point of depth that you're looking for. And I want this girl to look scary. We want you to know she's pure evil and up to no good. And then I think it would be fun just to add some green into it, because that's going to offset the purple in an interesting way, I think. So, like, I don't know, around Halloween when people do purples and greens, it always looks really good together. I'm sure it has something to do with the color wheel. They're probably on opposite sides or something like that. But I'm going to give her a glow. I think that would be really fun. Because now she's looking evil. And let's give her big green eyes too. Eyes that say, I'm trouble. She kind of looks like a zombie in a weird way. And I'm going to color that in with the water just to kind of thin it out a bit. Give her kind of a sickly glow. Give her a little bit more of a made up look. There's no way we can't say that doesn't look evil, right? Okay, so before we work on that red lipstick, let's work on these eyes and teeth a little bit. I'm going to give it a little bit of a blue shadow. Just to kind of give her eyes a little something going on. I'm going to do the same thing to her teeth because her teeth shouldn't be perfectly white. I don't feel like that would look right. So we're just going to add a little bit of that in there. A tidge of water. to kind of smoothen it out a bit. And then maybe we can add a little bit of a darker green in these irises just to kind of really sell the fact that she's like a poison apple herself. And then give it kind of a water look so that's kind of crazy. Because I do not want there to be any questions about this woman's sanity. She is insane. Got a little bit of green outside the line, so I'm going to try to put a little bit of white over it. She ain't no drop in the ocean. This girl is fierce, right? Make you think twice before taking a deal with her. So let's work on these red lips because she famously has really, really red lips. It's like the only thing that deviates from her color scheme because purples and blacks are usually her colors. Which I guess I could have done her lips black, but they're not black in the movie. So I don't really see a reason to do that. So there's a bit of that red. And I'm gonna blow dry it. And then we can darken it with a deeper red. Let's see what we've got here. This not work, or do I have anything? I don't, so let's try this and see what happens. Trying to give her like kind of like an evil shine. Yeah, I think that darkens those lips up quite a bit and that gives them a better look. Like she should have more of a shadow under her nose there, so I'm just gonna pop a little bit of a shadow in there. There we go. And then we need to think about her hair. So I'm gonna start with like a really light gray first. And do like I did with the skin and just pop it everywhere first, and then we can add to it. Just get that gray a little bit everywhere. And then we'll go in with some darker grays and try and see what we can do. We can even use more purple. We'll just kind of see what we're feeling like. Let's go ahead and get this mixed in. go. That gives us a little bit of a base to work with. And then we can use yellow for her earrings because her earrings, maybe we should do a dark purple instead of sticking to lore accurate stuff. We can just use a different shade of purple for these and then add highlights to it. Because I don't want to introduce a new color and have it go kind of crazy. So let's try that as a base. See what that does for us. I'm going to blow dry it again. I'm seeing a little bit too much of a light color there. I don't really care for that. So I'm going to knock it back a little bit with some color. There we go. And then let's introduce a different color in here that's going to go with it too. And I'm going to have it be this kind of tealy green because it's still going to be a green. So it's going to go with it good. Plus it's going to go with the ocean theme. And I'll just give it some interest. I like that. And maybe we can add like a sickening pink to it just to give her charm, like as if she's not gonna screw somebody's life up, but we know the truth. She's evil. That is not a sweet pink, it is an evil pink. And a little bit of green in there. Like that. This is dry up here now, so we can start adding some colors to that too. I think I'm gonna throw in this really dark blue first, just because I kind of want some shading in here. We're gonna see what it does to the color scheme. I don't think it should do anything bad, but we'll be able to fix it. It's Neo colors. We can just keep layering. I'm gonna kind of darken her hair a bit. Because I know Ursula has like white gray hair, but I don't know. I want it to go better with the color scheme. And I think if we keep it too white, it's just gonna look flashed out. Hey bug, how you doing? We are working on an evil ice cream Ursula. Hey Karen, how you doing? And then we'll get brighter colors in there after we add the water to it. I just want something to be contrasting in here because if it just ends up being white hair, it's not gonna look right. But we will add the white in there. Don't get me wrong, it'll happen. But we need some dark in there first. And with Neo colors, you can always layer. So since she has this purple color scheme, I think this really dark bluish purple is going to look good for that. And then we can layer on top of it with a white. Woo! Girl, that's a big yarn, but I know that relaxes you, so I'm glad you had some time to yourself. We've been Ronan's at his grandparents this week, and it's been so quiet here. I haven't really known what to do with myself, because usually we're out doing stuff with him, you know? But like, it was so strange getting off work and not hearing like pitter pattering of feet everywhere. Just didn't know what to do with myself. He's having fun though. He called us and he's at a water park with his grandparents right now, which sounds like fun. All right, let's blow dry this real quick before we do anything to it. Ooh, you had me at seafood. I love seafood. Oh yeah, he will. I'll be really excited to hear his little stories. He's so perfect. Okay, so I think this is done. So let's go ahead and I want to add that green back in here because she's kind of glowing and I want that evil to still be there with this color scheme. So we're going to put some of that in there. Thing like that. And then we need to kind of knock it down a bit. So I'm also going to add some purple. Because where it's dark, it's very dark. And that purple is just going to lighten it back up and have it match a little bit better. And this is where we add the white. So I'm just going to scribble it in a little bit. And that way we know her hair is still white, but now there's more color to it. And now it looks much more interesting. I love that little spot right there. That little spot looks really cool. Okay, and then we need to do her popsicle stick. So I'm going to come in with a brown. A little bit of a darker brown too. And then we're just gonna add a little bit of water to give it some life. Let it bleed a little bit, and I think that'll look good. Now we've got this here. So what I could do is I could do it the color of the movie, which is gold, and give the seashell a gold look. Or I really like what we did with these earrings. So I'm thinking that I kind of want the shell to match her earrings. And that way it has kind of like an evil eerie glow to it. So I'm going to start with purple again. Get a little bit of water in here. And I'm not really going to let that sit there, so I'm going to go ahead and dry it. Oh, Cookie, are you telling me if I offered you a free Ursula ice cream, you wouldn't eat her if she looked this delicious? I'm just kidding. If somebody handed this to me, I'd be like, are we friends, man? Are you cool? I'd be like, maybe not that ice cream. And then let's do. I mean, she cute. Yeah, she's feeling herself for sure. All right. And then we're going to add that kind of cool green in there. And then I had kind of like this yellow green in there too. So now it's kind of got like that same evil flow. I think I'm going to do something crazy. I'm going to add just a little bit of water to it, see what happens. It could be a mistake. It might not be. I'm going to try it anyway. I'm just going to swirl it and see what happens. Okay, that wasn't too bad. It mixed the colors a little bit together and gave it kind of an interesting look. Thank you, I appreciate that. Let's try giving it some shadows and see what happens. So let's go with these are closer to the ground, so they're gonna have a darker shadow than whatever's going on up here. So let's start with this necklace first and give her a really dark shadow. This thing's kind of curled. And then let's add some water to that. Just to soften it up a little. And then we'll dry it and then we'll add a lighter shadow for all this above stuff. That way it could look like it's standing straight up. Once again, I'm not a light source person. This is a guessing of light sources. Please do not learn light sources from me. It's wrong. But we can fake it till we make it. Yeah. I'm gonna put a little bit of shine up here too. I think a shine would help. Ooh, I like that. Yeah, I think that's kind of cool. Do just a little bit of a shine up here too. Okay, and then we can do a lighter gray. And by light gray, I mean really light gray. Just kind of do the bottom a little bit. Because I'm not really sure where our light source is, but a little bit of shadow is not going to hurt. Give it a little bit of water to kind of just knock it back a little bit. And then I'm going to add a little bit of purple around her just to kind of give her that devious look. So I'm going to use just straight up regular purple and do kind of like a circle around her. And I'm not going to put a lot of pigment into it because I'm going to saturate it with the water. So my idea is just to have like a hint of the color there. And then to use the water to kind of bury it. So it'll have some texture to it. But the more water we use, the more the lines should disappear. You gotta be kind of careful though. Like I said, this is not watercolor paper, but it can be manipulated to be. Trying to be careful here because I'm getting into her hair. That's okay. Just like, why on earth would I be this good when it feels so good being bad? Especially in the heat of the day with the summer. Just like that. And then you may not be able to see it very well, but it's giving off kind of a hue. So I'm going to do some more purple around the edges. I'm just going to dry it a second. Do some more on this outer edge a little bit thicker this time. That is not quite dry there, but that's okay. We will survive it. And then let's add that green back in here so that we can get the glow of her to get her full evil on display. So we want people to know our ice cream means business. Something like that. And I'm just going to saturate it a bit. Thank you. I appreciate it. I've just been having way too much fun with my Neo colors lately. I wanted to do something kind of crazy. Yes, these are the Caran d'Ache Neo Color 2s. I am in love with my Neo colors, so I use them for like almost every project I do these days. But I like them because of how much you can layer with them. Like they're just really fun. But if you were looking for something that will not break the budget, eye crown is the closest thing you're gonna find Neo Color 2s. I've tested them and they're pretty darn good. I gave my set to a friend because I was like, well, I don't need both. Um, but yeah, they're pretty good. this little area around her hair a little bit. And I'm not sure I like the color of this floor. Let's darken it up just a tidge. I'm going to use a very light line of black. Very light, because I don't want it to overpower. But I think it'll darken that up a little bit because I think that gray is too light. Too light. There we go. There's a little bit of shadow in there. There we go. Icon is the evil Ursula cackle across the seas to taunt Aoife. You know what? Aoife finally used them and she liked them though. It was really funny. She posted something on Instagram and it was a big cap. She goes, "Geeks, I'm using them." You better pay attention, geeks. It was really funny. I had a good laugh about it. So I'm glad she finally used them though. She said she liked them, so I'm really happy that she did it. Um, well, I think all that's left really is to sign this, and I think we have ourselves an Ursula ice cream, y'all. What is today? Today is June 8th. I like to date my stuff so I can see my progress. There we go. And friends, I think that just about concludes it. So if you didn't get to see before, I did go through my chicken book. That's for the maker swap. So if you didn't catch that, please go back and watch the first part of this video. You're in for a real treat, and I think Becky's gonna love this. And thank you guys for sticking with me while I went through and drew Ursula and all of her lovely ice cream glory as she cackles across the seven seas. I don't know. Wanted a fun summer idea. It was fun. Um, but thank you guys. I really appreciate you, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Y'all have a good night. Thank you so much.